If you own a Garmin watch and you ever thought about getting another wristband for it, either a replacement or something different in terms of color or fashion, but then you went on the Garmin website and you got some sticker shock, I've got a good option for you. Stick around. So like I mentioned in the intro, I have been interested in getting a different band for my Garmin Instinct 2 Solar Tactical. And when I first looked at getting one, I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool? And Garmin has a ton of options. Not to belittle Garmin, you know, their stuff is good, certainly, but it commands a real price. As of this filming, the Garmin replacement bands start at 40 bucks for this, and they go up from there. And that kind of took me out of the mindset of wanting a different band. So I kind of didn't really think about it again until I found out about Notocity, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but these guys make replacement bands for the Garmin watches, several of them actually. And I thought, well, let's try these out. And fortunately, the manufacturer was kind enough to provide me with some samples to try out. And I didn't just try them out, like I worked out with them, went outdoors with them, like I did all the things, slept in it, you know. So I got a pretty good handle on what they offer. And we're talking, once again, at the time of this, around 10 or 11 bucks a band. And if you look at the Garmin band, and here's the Garmin band that came off of it, I'm hard pressed to see any real quality difference. The outside of the indentations are squared instead of being beveled. But in terms of the size, in terms of what you get, man, the quality, this flat on the inside, slightly raised on that one for the Garmin. Despite those small differences, oh yes, and I should mention there's no Garmin triangle on the replacement bands. But aside from that, the quality seems equivalent to me. And in some cases, I think it might even be better. I'll get into that in just a second. But like I said, that was the Garmin band. Some of the others that they sent to me are replacement black band, Digicam, and Tundra. And if you look at these, they all look really nice. The fit is equivalent. It comes with the pins, so you don't need to reuse pins. And it comes with the tool to actually swap them out. And I'll show you how to swap them out in a second. But before I get to actually showing you how to swap out, which is really simple, this is the Garmin. If you look at the nice metal quality of the buckle, if you look at the Notocity, they look exactly the same to me, guys. You know, a nice enameled steel set of hardware. So I think the durability factor's there. I don't think anything is going to last forever. Like, I mean, if you look at my Garmin band, you can already start to see wear and tear. I don't think a silicone band is going to last forever. So even if you're not interested in trading colors or, you know, any sort of fashion, you may be interested in one of these bands for a sheer wore out, I need a new band kind of perspective. But like I said, you might want to be interested in some other color choices as well. It's just a thought. And one more thing that I'll mention, but first let me show you how to swap these out because it's really straightforward. I'm going to put the Digicam back on because I like the Digicam. You take the little tool provided that looks like a SIM card tool almost. You push the pin on one side and that'll let you pop out the band. And I'll get the top one. I like to do it one at a time for reasons. I always seat one side and then I push the other one slightly downward like so. Come on, there we go. And then I take the flat part of this tool and I push that pin in and then just shove it downward. And then I just make sure that it's centered. Sometimes you gotta poke one side a little bit. Once you do that, and I just make sure I rock it back and forth so that I know it's perfectly seated. And then we do the other side, same, not much change. Yeah, see, it rocked out a little bit, so that's why I always double check. You're gonna have to do this with the OEM band too if you decide to replace it, just to make sure that the pin is properly centered. Yeah, and there we go. That is the entirety of swapping out the bands. It's not hard, like seriously, a kid could do it. And every band comes with these the tool and the pins, so you're totally set there. Some notes. On the Garmin band, one of the two watch keepers has a little detent on the inside, but the other does not. And so they can slide around. Like this one will slide around. This one usually stays in one spot really good. The cool thing about the Notocity, and if I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize, their bands both have a little detent in them, or they're little keepers. So they stay put. I like their keepers even better than the Garmin. I think that these are also available separately. So if you decide you really want the Garmin, but you'd rather have some different keepers, you can order those too, also quite cheap. And so that's it, guys. There's not a lot to these. Like I said, there's I think like something like 10 or 12 different varieties of colors. Every single one of them is equivalent quality. I think they're all nice looking. They all feel nice. They clean up nicely. When I'm done working out, I usually just rinse them off and dry them off. I don't usually shower in my watch, although nothing says you can't. You certainly can. But you can see what I'm talking about with the little detent. You kind of got to cram them under, but that keeps them from going places. Yeah, there we go. So, no real craziness. I mean, it's a watch band. It is not rocket science. It's not anything that complicated. But I thought that you guys would be interested in this, especially if you own a Garmin watch. And I know that they have them for other models besides the Instinct. That just so happens to be the watch that I've got. I know that I've seen them offer equivalent silicone bands for, I think, the Phoenix series and the, Epics. Yes, I think those use these same bands. I'm not entirely positive. But they have equivalent bands for a lot of different Garmin watches. Super jazzed with them, guys. And I think I'm sticking with the Digicam, by the way. I like the Digicam quite a bit. But they've got ones of all different colors, different patterns, different camos, all sorts of stuff to really, tickle your fancy. I realize that this isn't real camo. I mean, I'm not going to be hiding from anybody or sneaking up on anybody, but I think it looks cool. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to make this video any longer. It's probably been long enough. Give these guys a try if you want a different watch band for your Garmin. Really can't say enough good things about them. For the price, equivalent quality, in my opinion, maybe even slightly better in some respects. And like I said, once again, the price is right. Like I said, I'll stop here. If you've enjoyed this video or any of my other content, and speaking of my other content, it's usually around gear, but a lot of knives, guns, flashlights, some other things, occasional fitness. Please feel free to do the YouTube thing. Like this video, give me a subscription if you want to see some more content like that. And I appreciate you guys. Anyway, I'll end this here. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Stay safe.
Get 'em, Jay.